The feds have a lot of evidence. They've got plane tickets. They say the plane tickets were purchased using an OTF associated credit card. They say the gun was supplied by an OTF associate. They have 5 people in custody. They're probably going to get some more. And then they're going to start squeezing on people and say, hey, have you seen this man? Does he run this crew? Did he provide some money to you? The thing about the indictment in California, this is a murder for hire plot. And what's very interesting is they've picked up, arrested who they believe are the shooters. They've identified, they have video of the shooting, and they've identified the individuals they say are the shooters. And in their indictment, they refer to co-conspirators who have not been named, and that's who they're really after, if you ask me.
We've got Chicago News in here, CBS News, talking about basically what the charges are for Lil Durk and what it's going to look like for him moving forward, because this thing is starting to evolve pretty quick. Y'all checking this out.
New for us here at 5 o'clock. Grammy award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk is facing new charges in a murder for hire plot.
I decided I had to finish, but the media called me a menace.
Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Banks, is facing 2 additional felony charges, including conspiracy. He's accused of conspiring with others to murder a rival rapper in Los Angeles in 2022, but the shooters missed their intended target and killed someone else. Allegedly. 5 other people are also facing charges, 4 of whom are from the Chicago area.
Okay, there's a shooter in there. We saw he had this is some good form right here. Got to get a little bit of a better stance, but this is probably, if I had to guess, this is probably the shooter who got Pab, because that's some good form right there. Back arched a little bit too much, but you know, sometimes it'd be like that. What else we got for Lil Durk?
Lawyers for Chicago rapper Lil Durk say prosecutors do not have enough valid evidence to convict him in a murder for hire plot. Dirk Banks has been jailed since late October in connection with a plot to kill a Georgia rapper known as Quando Rondo, real name Tyquan Bowman. The attack killed Bowman's cousin. Banks' attorneys say prosecutors are overreaching when they claim that the lyrics of one of Banks' songs may be quoted as evidence.
There goes the lyrics.
Banks faces a detention hearing next week. His trial is set for January.
Now, as we know, the trial has been postponed until October of this year, but we're going to keep following this. Now, we do have not a press conference, but we do have Lil Durk's attorney speaking out about what's going on with the new charges and what he thinks about everything that's going down. So it'll be good to hear from the defense side on this, because everything we're hearing right now is the feds are saying they got this man, and we've got DJ Vlad over there saying, hey, they pretty much planned this out and it was on the company cards. So this is wild.
It's about Lil Durk being indicted. Let's get into the facts. There is an indictment out in California. It's federal. It includes a charge, murder for hire. Murder for hire resulting in death is punishable by life in prison. Now, in the indictment out in California, there are 5 people named. None of those people is Lil Durk. There is, however, in that indictment, a mention to other conspirators. Those people could be named. They have not been named yet. What do the feds say about this conspiracy? They take you back to 2020 and the murder of King Von. Then they say that after Von was murdered, a high-ranking member of OTF let it be known that there was a bounty on the head of an individual involved in that King Von murder. That's believed to be Quando Rondo. So reading between the lines of the indictment, the feds are saying that Durk put money on Rondo's head. Then the feds say that 2 years later, 5 people from Chicago with some other conspirators traveled to LA, attempted to murder Quando Rondo, hit somebody else who was standing right next to Quando's car. The feds have a lot of evidence. They've got plane tickets. They say the plane tickets were purchased using an OTF associated credit card. They say the gun was supplied by an OTF associate. They have 5 people in custody. They're probably going to get some more. And then they're going to start squeezing on people and say, hey, have you seen this man? Does he run this crew? Did he provide some money to you? The thing about the indictment in California, this is a murder for hire plot. And what's very interesting is they've picked up, arrested who they believe are the shooters. They've identified, they have video of the shooting, and they've identified the individuals they say are the shooters. And in their indictment, they refer to co-conspirators who have not been named, and that's who they're really after, if you ask me, because you read that indictment and it says that a bounty was put up, that these guys went out, they took the shot, They attempted the bounty, they killed somebody, they went to collect on the bounty, and the indictment says the bounty was paid. And so if you can...
But how could the bounty be paid if they got the wrong guy? I'm confused, man. This is confusing. Something's not adding up. Something is missing here.
Prove who paid that bounty, who's the money man, that's who you're going to want to go after if you're the feds. And so if you've got the shooters picked up, that's who you're going to lean on if you're the feds. And you're going to say, where did the money come from? Who put up the money? Now, if you can't connect the shooting to a money man, then you can't get the money man. Somebody, I mean, unless you have hard evidence of the money transfer, you're going to need somebody probably to say, yeah, it was, you're going to need a witness to say that guy gave me the money or that guy gave me the money to give to this guy. But it's very hard to prove who hands over the cash without witness testimony. We saw this in the 6ix9ine case. 6ix9ine apparently put bounties up. How did they figure it out? Somebody said, yo, 6ix9ine told me. Here's the big thing you got to understand about the Lil Durk situation. The indictment that's been released is not a gang RICO charge. In a gang charge, if they prove you're in the gang, you're responsible for the acts of the other gang members. However, this is murder for hire. Doesn't matter if he's in a gang or what or this or that. What's going to matter here is, did he hire someone for the murder? Okay, so unless they link Durk to the money, it's not murder for hire. RICO gang would be totally different. Then you start talking about, oh, did this guy ever wear the words OTF on his shirt? You know, did he ever do that? You know,
yeah, that's what we're talking about in the whole YSL trial. So with this murder for hire, I mean, even this whole money transfer issue seems to be total BS. Because their whole case is on the fact that Durk wanted Quando Rondo, but then they got Pab and he was just suddenly happy with that. Doesn't make sense.
This is not that case. It's murder for hire. They're going to try to connect him to the money that was paid to the shooter. That's the only way they get him on murder for hire, which you face life for if the murder for hire involved a death. Here, they didn't kill who he was hired to, so maybe you better hope you don't.
And now they're saying Lil Durk tried to flee. Yeah, and this is Lil Durk's lawyer as well. Lil Durk tried to flee the U.S. on a private jet to Italy after his associates were arrested in Chicago early Thursday morning. Maybe. And we heard about that in the other video we saw. While he was in Fort Lauderdale, he initially booked flights to Dubai and Switzerland, but didn't board either. By 6:40 p.m., the FBI learned he instead arranged a private jet to Italy, scheduled to depart at 9 p.m. He was arrested on his way to the Miami airport. Was this a planned trip or not? I don't know. We'll have to wait to see.